You have been on strike indefinitely, mainly on allowances. In fact, for most of the strikes I have seen you embark on this year, it has been for allowances. We all understand that the situation has not been the best, but why are your demands endless so that we have had to go back and forth with these strikes?
Well, thank you very much, and good evening to viewers, and good evening to panelists as well. In the case of the unions in relation to the current strike action that has been declared, it's got to do with not because we are asking for more, but because what we had agreed with government unilaterally varies that to our disadvantage without recourse to us. And so we've been at the point where fuel prices, in terms of what the ex-pump rate is that which determines where you stay and go to work. And that also reflects what you spend in terms of maintaining your vehicle if you are driving, or maintaining a motorbike or a bicycle if you were using any of those gadgets. Now, the case is that from 2021, there was a release by government in terms of what the ex-pump rate would be, and that influences our allowances in relation to vehicle maintenance and the fact that you live off campus and then you have to go work on campus. 2021 in June, we had an agreement with government that given the price hikes in fuel, twice every year there would be an upward review based on the current ex-pump rate. We agreed this in June. The expectation was that December 2021 there will be a review. There wasn't a review. Then in June 2022, a review comes announced by government, and the usual practice of applying that to these other allowances, government, after paying 1 month, says that it no longer applies. And that was a unilateral decision in terms of the fact that government did not engage the various stakeholders who are beneficiaries of these allowances. And that is where we find trouble with government, because we are not asking for more. We are asking for the fact that by virtue of the current fuel price hikes, and in reality, we were not the ones who announced the rate. It was government that announced an increment from 6.05 per liter to 10.99, when in fact, at the time, the rates were around 13 Ghana cedis per liter. And so to say that that does not apply to allowances that union members should enjoy in relation to where they stay and go to work and how they maintain the vehicles, we found that not to be in good taste. Besides, the usual thing is that if it is the case that you agree that we are deserving of it and you cannot pay immediately, where we have been in terms of the bottleneck is that government is currently aware and is certainly aware that we are deserving of this. If you are not able to pay, what Labour Commission has been asking of them is to say, engage the unions and set terms of payment, how you are going to pay, because reality is that we've provided letters that communicated same previously and communicated same currently. And you cannot say that on the basis of some unilateral decision, you are not going to be able to pay us, and particularly so without engaging us. That is where we find ourselves. So respect for the workers, respect for the rule of engagement, respect for the fact that the law will not allow for you to vary my conditions of service to my disadvantage are the basis for which the current industrial action is being taken. And so technically, it will not be the fault of the unions on grounds that these are agreements we have, these are things that are members of the unions are deserving of, and that if you have any good reason to want to vary that, it is only reasonable to engage those who are beneficiaries, so that at the end of the day, if there is some compromised position, then we can go ahead and have peace within the labor front. But to sit in your office and issue directives without engaging us, particularly so when you are unilaterally varying the conditions of service to our disadvantage and against the labor regulations. We think that it is not right, and that is the basis for which the current industrial action has been taken.